25 Most Haunting Childhood Traumas, according to Reddit. In the interest of clarity, the question being asked here is, what's something horrible that you witnessed as a child that you didn't understand until you were older? Number 25 reads, when I was younger, I was walking through a woodland area near my old house with some friends. There was me, my younger cousin, another kid who was about 4, and the older kid who was about 12 years old. We're all walking to the bike track to meet up with some friends, and there was a river separating the woodland area with a forest on the other side leading to a farmer's field. There was no way to cross over there, and there was no bridges, so as we're walking along, we see this guy appear from the bushes. We all just stopped there, froze. We could tell he was homeless. He was covered in mud and wearing tattered clothes. The elder girl stopped and held us back a second as he started to approach the edge of the river. He then pulls down his pants and starts wanking in front of us all. She freaked out, grabbed my cousin and the younger kid to run out of the forest, but I was just so confused. I didn't understand what the guy was doing or why he was doing it. She quickly ran back in, grabbed me, and ran out, and we all just ran back to our street. She told us not to tell anyone, and that what we saw was dangerous. She told us never to walk through this forest again unless we had someone older with us. She said if we did tell our parents, that they wouldn't let us play anymore, or they might even make us move. Looking back, I wish I did tell my parents. If it wasn't for that river separating us all, we could have been in serious danger. What more is there even to say to this? My God. Number 24. I was playing in the backyard when I was around 6 or 7 years old, and the 16-year-old neighbor boy next to me asked me to get something that had flown over the chain link fence that separated our yards. I obliged, and when I handed it to him over the fence, there was his wiener in all its glory. I ran inside, told my mom, and she called the police. When the police got there, they asked what happened, and I sheepishly told her he showed me his ding-a-ling, but it wasn't where it should be. It was way up to his belly button. Oh God. Which they found confusing, but seemed to figure out pretty quickly. Turns out that was the first time I had ever seen an erect penis, which as an adult I know makes the situation even worse to think that the boy was turned on when he did that. He told the police his friends dared him to do it, and that he'd get a skateboard and $50 if he did. But why was he erect? Gross. Man, 16-year-old boys. Number 23. I have only a mild recollection of this shit, but apparently people were doing a lot of heroin, cocaine around me as a child. When we got to our drug awareness / dare type of classes in the 3rd or 4th grade, they showed us pictures of drugs and needles and shit like this, typical scare tactics. My classmates, confused, asked how the powder could go inside the needle, and me, trying to be an ever-helpful 8 to 9-year-old, explained that you had to get a spoon and cook it over a candle. First until it melted down. My teacher was not happy. Well, I guess that's what happens, Burger. Oh God, this is a pretty sad list. Number 22. Age 12 or so, I was walking down the street near a park with my mom and a young brother. A girl comes out of the park distressed and crying, says that she was just raped. The police at our house were interviewing my mother later, and I've only thought about this once in the 27 years since it happened. Never asked for more details. I haven't thought about it for years until this thread. The guy updates this at this. Oh my God, Vanessa. And she didn't even say anything. Oh my God, Vanessa, I love you. Thank you for your disaster tier donation. Bing bong. I think his update is just kind of making it clear that his mom doesn't remember much of it at all. My God. Okay, that's enough. I don't know, man. Some people with their edits, they make me pretty confused. Number 21. I found my grandmother naked and unconscious in the bathtub. Was she dead, dude? It did not scare me or anything. I just got my mom. Was she dead? We'll never know. Number 20. The Balkan War. Very blessed I was too young back then. I never really questioned the bodies on the side of the roads because I had the feeling that it was something I don't want to know until I'm older. Some older kids who survived still have issues to this day, but I was fine because I didn't realize the abnormality. Oh my God. That's pretty scary. Wait a minute. Holy hell. Give me some of that. Can I even do it? Why is it so weird? Now we're talking. Now we're talking. I welcome you as a new mod, Vanessa. Hot shit. Soon I'll be able to change the mod icons, but it's really not allowing me to do that kind of thing right now. What can I do? Oh, thank you for this follow here, Ashbury Rome. Almost tripped over myself getting that term correct for the different platforms. Number 19. If we count the age of 15 as being a child, it was finding my then stepdad covered in his own piss, vodka bottles and pills everywhere. Oh my God. I told my mom, she called an ambulance, and they got him, and my mom went to the hospital with him. Meanwhile, I felt the urge to do something to help my mom somehow. So I cleaned up the room and all the piss and the pills and the vodka together with my then 10-year-old sister. Only later did it dawn on me that he was a raging alcoholic dealing with depression, anger issues, and that he had tried killing himself that day. Well, wouldn't it be a burden off of you assholes? I'm kidding. Everybody has problems and deals with it in ways that may or may not be the correct way. Like I'm supposed to care. You know, I was watching this video today where a cop was mad at his ex-girlfriend. He was a sheriff, dude. This motherfucker was a sheriff. He was mad at his ex-girlfriend and went and popped 4 off center mass in this lady's chest. And she only barely survived, homie. And then, of course, he shot and killed himself. But you want to know the sad part is? Here's what the sad part, and I'm going to ease the fuck up off it. You know, I'd love to be the dude brave enough to make a video on that type of shit too. But I'm not trying to light a fire under the police or the government ass, because they already know that they're getting away with the world. But what I'm going to say is, the bottom line to me is, if he had lived, he probably would have just been fired and that would have been it. Some shit like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know, he would probably just flee or whatever cops do, you know what I mean? And he'd be all right. This unhinged asshole. Think about the type of dude that is, okay? That's going to shoot his ex-girlfriend because he mad 4 times in the chest. In broad daylight, dude, there's video of this shit. I'm not playing. I want to look this up for you right now. I hate to, you know, my God. Shoots ex 4 times. She survives. I think it was Florida too. Ain't that wild? Yep, it was Florida. Oh my God, y'all don't want to see this. The worst part is I could probably show it because she survives. I can show you up until the point where he shoots himself in the head, you know what I'm talking about? But come on, man, that's the world we're living in, you know what I mean? And I know that I'm not trying to belittle anything or make it seem like anything that happened with this is any more intense or less intense than the other aspects of it, but I feel the big deal for me, thank you for that follow, Memphis FPS. The big deal for me, dude, is that this is the type of dude that has a gun, that had a badge, and gets to roll around in a cop car exercising authority over other people, dude. This fickle motherfucker that could be so jealous and so upset and rage so hard and have such a loose restraint. such little control over his emotions that he's literally gonna stop in front of his, and they want to be all like, oh well, he was doing this medication and all kind of bullshit like that. I'm like, dude, y'all thought he was all right enough to give him a gun and a badge and not just have him be some fuckboy cop, you know what I mean? But the goddamn sheriff, this the sheriff y'all talking about? Oh shit. Like, I'm not even joking. What I want to do is give y'all the video I was watching, because the video I was watching has an interview with Chris Hansen of Dateline NBC, and my God, it's and the woman after she, you know, they have surgery and she's okay. And she talks about like the first time that he met this dude and how the cop was just looking her up and down. You know what I mean? Like, he just claimed her. Like, this motherfucker's just entitled and he gonna call all the shots. There's a lot of hoes out there who are down with that kind of like dominant behavior because they want to submit to their partner, my dude. But that shit ain't for everybody. And when you're out there like pretty much exercising your own, oh my God, let me not get up a creek about it. But, that's all I'm saying. You know, goddamn. Let me go back, okay? So, this guy's like an alcoholic or something. He's dealing with depression, anger, issues that had him trying to kill himself that day. Oh my gosh. Oh my glimmy glosh. I remember covering my sister's eyes when they took him to the hospital because I instinctively felt otherwise this scene would burn itself into her memory. She is still grateful for this 7 years later. Man, the kids, when one of the siblings has to grow into the mommy figure, the siblings typically aren't appreciative of that. So interesting, you know. The siblings typically are at an age where they don't know what the hell is going on, so all they can do is be little bastard kids, and make the new mommy figure, you know, go through hell. So to all the little motherfuckers that had to grow up really fast and be the parental figure in absence of one, you know, my heart goes out to you. I'm sorry. Oh, but hopefully the life that you deserve is, if not already in progress, right around the corner. Because, man, karma got to balance this shit out somehow. You know what I mean? Number 18. When my parents bought a house, because my mom was pregnant with my younger sister, my parents slept in separate rooms. They didn't do that in our previous one-bedroom apartment. It never occurred to me that they hated each other. They would eventually separate and then divorce, and I also had my paternal grandparents for 28 years before they passed away. I also had my paternal grandparents for 28 years before they passed away sleep in separate bedrooms for longer than I had them in my life. It's just a weird way of phrasing that. That's what it is. Always thought it was because they had separate schedules, like grandpa was up at 9 and went to bed at 10, while my grandma would go to bed around 3 a.m. and wake up at 3 p.m. But apparently, they had a marriage of convenience in the 1940s. They had my parents, and that's why marriage makes me nervous. Bro, look. This whole list is going to break me soon, so we need to get the hell up out of here. Hello, Zy Lawrence, and hello, Brandy Graham, who says I made it. Congratulations, Brandy Graham. Number 17. I saw a man attempt suicide. He couldn't even do that right. I'm kidding. I was standing on top of the slide on a playground at school, and I saw a man standing outside his window. Dude, where are you, in China? Not on a balcony. I don't remember how, but it was definitely not something you should be standing on. I pointed out the weird man to my teacher. The teacher called the front desk, who called 911, and ushered us all inside. I didn't realize anything serious was up until all the police showed up, and even they didn't realize that was so serious until many years later. I'm fairly certain he went back inside. But how can you know for sure? Is it Berenstein or Berenstain? Number 16. I grew up in New York City. Hey, I'm walking. You like that? And a really nice guy and his wife who lived in our building would watch me after school. They were Puerto Ricans, and the husband, Jose, spoke very little English. Well, I guess it takes Jose to know Jose. Get it? No way. Jose. He was basically my best friend, and we would spend our days doing chores and communicating in our own way. Well, I thank you for that cheer, Linda. Looks like if someone actually tries, they could probably wrestle that stream boss from Hannah tonight. You know, but I'm not encouraging any of that kind of, you know. I'm just saying. One day we were in a bodega, and this big dude comes in, talking loud about and being a bit of a dick. Damn, Kevin. Show them the true meaning of donation barrels. Damn, he sent one of them cheers in the glass like straight to space. Oh, it came back down. That was cool. All right, sorry. Enough being amused by the contents of my chip jar. One day we're in a bodega, and this big dude comes in talking loud, being kind of a dick. Jose literally picks me up, walks me to the back, and starts letting me pick out all of this junk food and I usually can't have. It was awesome, and every time I'm like, yo, Jose, this is what I want. I want these ho-hos. He's like, you sure, Papi? Induces a existential crisis in me. So I put them back and further scrutinize my options. Eventually, I have my snacks and I'm firm on my decision. That's when I realize Jose is acting really weird and there is a chaotic buzz in the air. I see a pool of blood and the dude who works the register sitting down with all these people around him. Turns out the guy who had come in was a big Brolic lunatic. Brolic? That's a word?
I've never heard of it before.
It's in the Urban Dictionary. Used to state that there is too much or an excess of something. Oh, hell no, Vanessa. Oh, my God.
Congratulations.
Jesus. I can't even properly express my thanks for Vanessa as well, as I stand in awe of her as the new excuse me, hiccup burp stream boss. You know, wow. You know, if I had a dolphin, he'd probably even be blown away by that too. You know what I'm talking about? Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, what a world. Look, like I said, I just thought Brolic was a character in Dragon Ball Z, so I don't know what we're doing. Turns out there's probably a robbery or some shit like this, right? Okay. All while I was distracted by delicious Hostess snacks a few aisles away. We awkwardly paid this dude who was fucked up and bounced. It wasn't until many years later, talking to Jose's kids, that I found out how dangerous the situation was and how brilliantly he insulated me from it. That's crazy, man. It takes a really cool dude to Kyle in that situation. What do you mean by Kyle? You can't be saying stuff like that. You think you're so cool. I'm just saying you gotta play cool, you know what I mean? You gotta hoist this kid up and be like, well, we don't need to be a part of this robbery, you know what I'm talking about? What you want? What you want from the back, man? What you want from the back, little man? Oh, I want this. You sure about that, my man? You better be sure about that, man.
Slap it on some toes.
Whoa!
What the fuck?
What?
Fuck!
Yo, Kevin, what the fuck?
Slap it on some toes.
What the fuck?
Kevin's insane.
Kevin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Slap it on some toes.
5 subs to other people?
Kevin, you're insane.
Brandy, Zai, well, Austin, Rhea, thank you. But Kevin, god damn. God damn. Look, Kevin, I don't know what to do, but just to offer
Slap it on some
to
toast.
smoke some weed when we get a chance. You know what I mean?
Smoke weed every day.
Thank you again for everything. I mean, jeez, man, damn, that's a lot. That's a lot of subscriptions, my man. That's wow, Kevin. Balancing out the scale. All right, where was I? Number 15. We were too poor to afford a sitter, so mom would always take me out on dates with her. Sounds kind of gross. Sounds like a broken arm story, man. You know? Oh no! Oh no, I was so busy with the voice I didn't realize what I was saying. She would make him accompany her on dates as a third wheel.
Yes.
Oh, that's worse. Man, see, Kevin broke my brain. Vanessa and Kevin both broke my brain because they obliterated my reading comprehension skills. I was literally just delivering something and going, that doesn't make a lot of sense. You know what I mean? But no, dude, that's bad. So what? Oh, okay. It wouldn't be so bad if like maybe he had a kid too, and like it was like a play date. Oh
Yeah,
god.
like at least my parents, their very first date, they brought all their kids with them.
But look, it says
It was a blind date. They went to the zoo.
it says they went to Chuck E. Cheese though.
Well, at least there's that.
Okay, let's see.
So,
On one of her first dates, the guy took us to Chuck E. Cheese, ordered a Hawaiian pizza, sent it back because he claimed the chef skimped out on the pineapple. Then at the end of the meal, he didn't leave any extra money on the table for the waitress like all of the mom's other dates. When I questioned him about it, like all of mom's other dates, like he was the cheap one. When I questioned him about it, he told me a tip is like respect. It's earned, not given.
Jesus.
After that, we played some skee ball, and he kicked all our asses. When I asked how he got so good, he told me he came here every night to play.
What?
He also knew a lot of the kids on a first-name basis.
That's horrifying.
Years later, it came out he prowled Chuck E. Cheese for kids to diddle.
Oh. I was already nauseous.
Your goal was 60.
Oh my God, Vanessa, baby. Thank you. I love you. Thank you, sweetie. Oh God. Vanessa, you single-handedly destroyed all. Damn, Linda. Damn. Oh my God, Kevin. That brings your total to 11 subs for the channel.
Yeah. He's given it to Linda and Rhea before. And Braylon.
Yo, Kevin, Vanessa, thank you. Kevin, thank you. This is, I don't even, you're making me anxious here. I owe you guys here. Kevin, let me know what I can do that you'd be interested in, because I'm still in the middle of a very lengthy project for Vanessa, and she deserves it, so she's gonna get it. But Kevin, let me know what the hell I can do here, man. Yeah, you're representing for all the Kevins out there, man. King of the Kevins, I would say. Oh man.
I can use my other ones now. Ha ha, bitch.
Yes, I can use my emotes. Oh God, guys, just wait. In about a month or two, I'll be able to go back to YouTube, and then we'll be able to fuck some shit up. But those emotes are like high tier for no reason. I wish that they were basically just like maybe $2 separations.
Yeah,
Like $5, like $8, then like $10 or something. But it's like a bit much. It's too much. The high ones. Damn.
I like Patrick, but I hate the Lisa one.
Okay, here's what's going on. Let me take a look. No, I'll do it after the stream, like a good boy. Thank you, Vanessa, for making me realize that goal. You're intense, girl. You know, you're the dream, girl. The dream. And Kevin, you know what, man? You're intense, man. You know, you're the dream to that girl. And she all like, Kevin, and all that stuff. Okay, here we go. 14. Oh no. One of my teachers ended up being convicted for sexual abuse of children. God damn, this list. This list is not playing. He used to stroke the girls' hair and rub their shoulders and backs. He would take a bite out of an apple and then rub the fruit on a girl's arm and then lick or bite the same part of the apple he rubbed on the girl while staring at her. I'm pretty sure he intentionally left his fly down all the time. As kids, we found it funny, but as an adult, I'm disturbed by it. If someone talked too much, he would duct tape their mouths shut and tape their hands together. This is just a sick kink for this disgusting old man. He would then walk like a prisoner over to the chair next to his desk and force them to sit there. We were 9 and 10, and we were in his class about 13 years ago. He was arrested only a year ago. There were 4 cases against him, but I'm sure he abused more. Fuck you, Mr. Tucker, you sick bag of shit. That sucks, man. I hate to think that he penetrated anything. As if the fucking apple rubbing wasn't bad enough. Someone responds to this. Do I even dare? The response reads, one of my substitute teachers when I was in middle school was banned for teaching at that middle school. I was sick the day that he substituted our GT class, but the next day I came and all my classmates were telling me about how he was trying to get the phone numbers of all the girls in my class. 6th grade, 11 to 12 years old. Thankfully, everyone in the class realized how creepy that was and reported him. His name was Mr. Pope too, so the Catholic jokes quickly ensued. He was still allowed to teach. Bruh. Rhea said, what? Wait, did what? Your teacher did the tape thing? Not the apple thing. Shit. Tell me he did the tape thing. I can see some kind of stupid ass Texas parents being like, yeah, that'll teach that kid to talk out of line. But the apple thing? Oh my God.
They paddled at the school I went to when I was.
But you went to an all-girl religious school.
No. This was at well, it was religious. It was like a non-denominational. It was before I went to an all-girl school. It was a really tiny school, and I think one of the teachers was arrested for something or other. But you know, not pretty.
Rhea says everything but the apple.
Okay.
I kind of love his little his pepe there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's disgusting. We got extra credit for wearing pigtails.
Ew.
You know what I mean? The kind of like, you know, totally. It's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. There were so many sexist things that were okay back when we were going through school. You know what I mean? It's fucking crazy. Number 13. When I was about 6, my mom was driving me and some neighbor kids home from a day at the beach. As we crossed a bridge, there was an old man standing on the side of the road. My mom looked in the rearview mirror after we passed him and noticed he was gone. This was before cell phones, so she pulled over and started flagging down cars. Thankfully, one of the first cars she flagged down had a CB radio and called an ambulance. Meanwhile, my friends and I were looking down at the man lying on the train tracks at the bottom of the bridge. My mom told us that he fell and everything was going to be okay, and it wasn't until years later that I found out that he jumped to his death because his wife of 50 plus years had just died of cancer. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. Well, Number 12 on this happy-go-lucky list of 25 most haunting childhood traumas, but really wouldn't really haunt some of these kids because they didn't really realize it until it's too late. So, when I was in first grade, there was this schoolmate named Mikey. He was a well-mannered kid who always dressed to the nines. Oh yeah? One day he got in trouble for something small in class, maybe talking when he wasn't supposed to be, being out of his seat when he wasn't supposed to be, or not following the typical rules. It was something he was bad to do, but at the same time, it wasn't something one would get into serious trouble for either. The teacher kindly reminded him of the rules, that he would go to recess 10 minutes late, and that she would inform his parents. The shit hit the fan. He just completely broke down once he heard his parents would be told. He was crying profusely, screaming. He was uttering phrases like, "Please don't tell them. I'll have to drink hot sauce. It's gonna hurt so much." Other phrases like this. The teacher tried to calm him down to no avail when she finally called for assistance from the principal's office. One of the teachers arrived in school. No, fuck me. One of the people arrived to our room, and the teacher went into the hall to talk to them. While she was out of the room, Mikey carried on with what us other first graders thought was a regular temper tantrum. I mean, we all had those. About 20 seconds or so after the teacher went into the hall, he calmed down a bit. He was wearing a tie that day and then proceeded to take it off. He then wrapped it around his neck and started to strangle himself in front of all of us. He was doing a good job too. He was turning red and sweating profusely. Oh my God. As first graders, we all sat back and were like, wow, he's changing colors. We were surprised, but not shocked by the actions taking place in front of us. We didn't get the teacher from the hall because about a week later...
What?
Wait. Whoa. Well, look, I can only read what it says, ladies and gentlemen. We didn't go get the teacher from the hall because about a week earlier... Oh, okay, that's better. Sorry. She was talking to somebody in the hall and we were bothering her with less important questions like, can we sharpen our pencils? And she specifically told us not to interrupt her when she was talking to others because it was rude. So when this started happening, we didn't. But I remember one of the students saying that we should, but the majority was reminding her of like, nope. She said no interruptions. That's the rule. Nope. She said nope. Anyway, she runs into the room and is freaked out by what she sees. She yells at us, and that's why nobody came to get her and told her about that. And then we reminded her in unison, teacher said not to interrupt her in the hallway. That we were not supposed to interrupt you. You know what I'm talking about? We were 6 to 7 years old, and she wasn't aware of we weren't aware of what was really happening to Mikey, so we thought the rules applied. I mean, he had just gotten in trouble for something, for not obeying. And this is what would happen to us, maybe, if we had gotten in trouble. The teacher and the person that came to talk to her rushed him to the principal's office, and we never heard from him again. As stated, we didn't think much of it at the time, and the next day he was an afterthought. Growing up, I always remembered him and this event. I eventually realized that what was really happening that day, I have thought to myself, I'm sorry, like thinking about what happened is just destroying my ability to read the rest of this. Like, did they inevitably tell his parents? Did they get child services involved? And that's why he never came back? Excuse me, did they tell his parents and then they beat his ass or, made him eat hot sauce to the point where he lost his voice and that he couldn't go back? Because it's weird, because if he was dressed to the nines, then, I like to think that he comes from a wealthy background. But the parents are that crazy and mean that they would do that shit to them? How rich is rich, Rich enough to afford some fancy dress for your little bing bong fuckboy rolling into school, but not rich enough to have a nanny to do the whole taking care of a kid because kids suck anyway. Plus, where's the money coming from? You know what I mean? You got to make more money to keep that money, so you got to be out there slurping it. I'm done. God. Well, what happened to this kid? Thank you for the follow, Psychoactive303. As I eventually realized that what was really happening this day, I have thought to myself about how seriously fucked up that shit must have been going on in his home, or what seriously fucked up shit must have been going on in his home in order for a fucking first grader at 6 years old to try to take his own life. It still sort of haunts me to this day. Hey, haunts. And I'd like to know what that he made it out of whatever situation it was in. You know, Oklahoma. But what the fuck can we say? Number 11. When I was little, I guess like 6 years old or something, a friend and I found a man sleeping in the bushes at our sports field. We thought it was some homeless guy and that he was sleeping there, and we thought it was hilarious. We told everyone on the field and showed some of them the sleeping man. My uncle, who works for the police, also came with us, and when we asked him to come see our sleeping friend, a few minutes later the game that was playing on the field was canceled, and the place where the man was swamped by the police.
Yeah. He wasn't asleep.
I thought they came to wake the man up. Turns out a few years later, he was a dead man, and I believe he was murdered in the park that connected to our sports field. So I guess I found a fucking body when I was 6 years old. We thought it was hilarious. I'm sorry. My God. We should have a list where I try to figure out if some people in my subscribers have found a dead body. You know? Vanessa found me and reanimated me with she was all like clear, except she didn't say clear because I was dead, so it didn't matter. You know what I mean? There was nobody else around, so nobody clear. I'm dead, you know. I don't need to keep my hands free when she hits me. It's like Doctor Strange. She's giving me more power in the spirit world. Okay, number 10. That was maybe 3. I can't really remember. We were awakened by the siren of the fire truck. We ran to our lawn to see the neighbor's house engulfed in flames. As we're watching, they bring something out and let it on the grass about 20 feet from me. It's small and blackened. It was my best friend's charred body. I remember staring at it until my mom finally realized what it was and took us all back into the house. It didn't really register for a long time, for a couple of weeks. I kept asking if my friend was going to come back so we could play. Finally, I stopped asking, and I guess I eventually forgot about him and what happened. It all came flooding back to me one day when I was in my 40s, and I confirmed my memories with my mom. Damn. I like that prelude said. Ow. Me. Tonight. Number 9. I am not doing well getting through this list. I don't know if this sucks. What? What's wrong with you? I don't know if this counts, alright? Man, is that how I feel about the list? It's a good list. I just feel like maybe the way that I am getting through it is what sucks. Yeah, I'll do better next time. I don't know if this counts, but my cousin and I were the dumbest fucking children when we were younger. What's the difference from normal children? We had a game we played when no one was around, and it's called Get Naked. I'm kidding. It doesn't have a name, and it could have gotten us killed on a couple of occasions. None of this sounds, unique. This is what kids do. Basically, we would get lollipops and push them down each other's throats. Okay, you win. Okay. You win, it's gay. Like we would actually hold the lollipops. Oh God. And us and slowly slide this is gay, man. And slowly slide the candy down. What the fuck? When I got anatomy in school, it dawned on me how absolutely idiotic we acted as children. I hope the dumb fuck DNA doesn't run in my family. Hey, you want to play the lollipop game? Oh my God. Comments. Any responses to this, please? Oh man. I've said it a billion times. Being a parent really is just keeping your retarded kids from killing themselves. Oh, because they're going to be trying. They're going to be trying. Oh, let me upvote that one in case I need it in the future. Number 8. My mom, great-grandmother, 2 sisters, and myself were on a road trip home from visiting North Carolina. I remember it pretty vividly because I was leaned forward between the front seats, showing my grandma something. I heard my mom gasp and look up. We were on a divided highway, and in one of the oncoming lanes, an SUV was flipping. It just kept going across the dividing grass section, across our lanes of traffic, and lodged itself into some trees on the side. My mom pulled over, and this was probably around 1994 or 95, and my mom had a cell phone, which were still not crazy popular. She called the cops as other motorists swarmed the scene to try to help. I was looking out the window. I remember all this luggage on the ground, just strewn across the ground, hanging in the trees. Fairly close to the car, there was a squarish green case. As I was looking at it, I realized it looked like a sweatshirt. Thought that was pretty weird. Looking closer, I realized it was a body, folded in half. At the time, I just pointed it out to my grandma. We left the scene shortly after, as we weren't really any help and were just going to be in the ambulance's way. I can still vividly see the body. At the time, I didn't associate it with death or even a real person. Later, I came to understand that there was no way that that person lived. With how horrific the accident really was, how terrifying it must have been for my mom and all the other drivers to see a car flipping uncontrollably into your lane. Well, at least y'all made it. At least y'all made it. As we continue, we reach number 7. Somebody should write some like creepy old-time disappearance type stories for me, you know. Read them for the channel. They can be like your bedtime stories.
How long do you want them to be?
They can be long, man. They can be like 20 minutes long. Yeah. That's a good length. That's a good length. Number 7. I saw a man put something in a woman's drink at a restaurant. Uh-oh. She had gone to the bathroom and he put some powder in her drink. Back then, I didn't know what roofies were, so I thought maybe he was just putting medicine in it or something. It sickens me to think of when I think about it now. Oh my God. Someone responds, I was in London a few years ago and my friend and I were in a club. We're talking to some guys and one of them offers to buy me a drink. Ooh. I've had a few cocktails at this point, but I was still fully aware of what was going on around me. The guy I was talking to was way more drunk than I was. We're standing at the bar and I order a drink. The female bartender is making it and I see this guy put his hand in his pocket, presumably to take out his wallet. I see him pull out a small bag, discreetly hand it to the bartender, then point to my drink. The worst part? She put it in my drink, then handed it to me. I picked up the drink, got my friend, told the guy I was going to the bathroom and I would be right back. I threw the drink down the sink and ran out of the place. Now I don't drink anything I don't see prepared. The fucking bartender went with it. London, boy. What the fuck kind of bing bong? Why would they go along with it? Was the bartender paid off beforehand? My God. Scary. Number 6, domestic violence. My dad beating up on my mom. I just used to sit and watch, not knowing what is happening or what I should be doing. It was the worst thing ever. Someone says same here. I was only 3 or so. I was invited by my dad's therapist to one of his sessions to see if I could help recently. When the abuse was brought up, he said, "You were too young. You can't remember that bullshit." I remember. I also remember standing in front of my mom looking up at my dad and saying, "No, Daddy, don't." I honestly don't know if that actually happens or if it was my little fantasy. I sort of wish I had done that. My mom left him after a few years of that, taking me and my sister with her. Thank goodness. He would have killed her eventually if she didn't. Or I'm guessing he wasn't a cop because he just would have, I'm kidding. Let me calm down. He tells me that she was cheating on him. And that I saw that too. I don't remember that part though. Number 5. At summer camp when I was 8 years old, I remember seeing a camp counselor in his mid-30s strip down to the nude in the main bunk room, surrounded by kids to change into his pajamas. What's even more messed up is he had a huge erection while doing it. I only realized how messed up it was years later. Oh my God. A response reads, when I went to summer camp at age 9, there was a counselor that was very inappropriate with me, constantly tried to get me to hug him, go on a hike with him. One time he straight up pulled his pants down in front of me. I felt so awkward and called my mom to come get me that I was sick. I never told anyone about it. Yeah, not good, because you're setting it up for somebody else to get fucked over, man. Kevin says he's gonna go get food. See y'all later. Take it easy, my man Kevin. Oh my God. Number 4. Something was always off about step-uncle Caesar. I saw him grope my older cousins as they ran away at a family gathering. Ugh. He died after falling down the stairs drunk. Oh, what a tragedy. We found out after his death that he was facing criminal charges for injuries caused by DUI accident. My God. I thought that was bad, but here it is some 20 plus years later and my aunt died. I learned at her funeral that Uncle Caesar was molesting his stepson during the childhood years. The trouble is we all complained about Uncle Caesar. No clue why nothing was done about him. Literally no one went to his funeral. Now people care, but at the time it's happening, they're all like making excuses for this bastard. This kind of shit happens in most families, and it's fucking pathetic because they're teaching the younger kids to do the same thing, to follow suit and not do or say anything about like wrong, you know? All this blood is thicker than water homo garbage, when in reality it's like bad people are bad people. Doesn't matter if they're related to you. Stop. Number 3. My dad and I were going camping when I was 5 or 6 years old. We headed out early and saw something in the ditch a couple of houses down from us. We pulled over thinking it was an animal. It was a woman. This woman was missing her entire bottom half of her body. Legs several meters away. She was dead and laying face down in a pool of her own blood. Dad quickly hurried back to the truck. He was trying to block my vision as we did so. We turned around, sped back home, called the cops, and waited until we saw their lights over the hill before we headed back out. The entire camping trip, Dad was shaken in a way that I'd never seen him before. He barely said anything at all that night. I didn't think anything of it, really. When we got home, my mom told me that the lady had been hit by a drunk driver on her morning walk. She had been hit so hard that her body was severed in the middle. Unfortunately, she was a friend of my parents from way back, and they talked at least once a week or so. Now that I'm older with my own kids, it gives me chills thinking about that. It was going through my dad's head. All he wanted to do was to get me away from that horror. That kinda sucks. Well, as we read this one, the second to last entry, I helped and watched my best friend's dad pack out the house. I was maybe 6 or 7 at the time, and had no idea that he was ditching his wife, kids, job, or any other adult responsibility. That's pretty sad. He made the task into a game for me and his son. We were taking things to go camping. After we packed up, he told us boys to head back to town where there was a local parade going on, and not to tell the wife or mom because it was a surprise. As young as I was, I had no idea the magnitude of what he was doing. Apparently, he cleaned out their bank accounts, money, and valuables. We were just excited to go camping. An hour later, my buddy's life was in ruins, and they had to leave the house that they were renting and move away. To this day, I have no idea what happened to my childhood friend, his mom, or the dad. It was a pretty despicable thing that guy did. Someone said, was the parade real at least? Unbelievable. Oh, guys, the final entry on this inadvertent bummer of a list. I mean, I don't know why I thought putting trauma on a list would make it happy-go-lucky, but, you know, sometimes you're surprised, you know? Sometimes. Number 1 reads, walking 20 minutes to school only to pass the liquor store where you see your dad passed out in the parking lot. Oh, boy. Somebody said, I saw a video on WorldStar a few years ago involving an 8-year-old kid slapping his mother with vigor. The mother was laid out outside, high as a kite, on heroin. The boy the boy, who was clearly not new to this, was so sad and frustrated and crying while slapping his mother, yelling for her to wake up. The neighborhood adults were gently trying to calm the boy down and tell him not to hit her, but you could tell from his body language, everyone understood that he was in a lot of pain. Oh my God. So can somebody get that video for me? You know? World Star Kid slaps mom. Little boy smacks the hell out of his mother for
Mommy! Mommy, wake up! Smacking your mother like that. Mommy! Will you talk? Will you talk? Will you talk to me? Talk to me! No!
Well, I mean, it's not funny. Heroin, man. Damn. Cat got its own tongue stuck in its collar. Stupid cat. I think it likes to do it if it always does it. Well, guys, I love you. Thank you for being a part of this list. Special thanks to my man Kevin, the tryhard superhero. Special thanks to Queen Vanessa, the stream goddess that we don't deserve. Wow. And you guys will see me again tomorrow. Thank you for being you. Thank you for doing what you do. Special thank you to my patrons, to my sponsors. Without you, none of this works. And you guys will get as much of me as you want. So if you find stuff that you want done, let me know. We'll go from there. So there was a new World of Warcraft expansion that came out today? That's what some guy was talking about. Wow. But why? Okay. What could it bring that would make it so relevant again? I'm not jumping back into Warcraft, but I am going to see if I can get my old account. Because it would have been good if I could have it be the same account that was associated with my Overwatch shit. But sometimes things just don't go the way you want it to. It says Ajit Pai loses in court. The FCC can't kill broadband subsidy in tribal areas. So, of course, when we hear tribal, we just think... You're racist, Dana. That's funny as hell to you. You're just like, yes!
It was the way you were doing it. Thank you.
Oh, wait. Do we the bouncing?
Yes.
Yeah, you gotta do the bounce. All right, cool. Oh, man. Let me see here. Some girl kicked us out of her party, so we stole her dog on the way out? Oh, my God.
Give her dog back.
That's trashy. That's trashy. Zai Lawrence says, Kyle, please tell me you're going to stream the second Dream on Warframe. Zai, can you please find me some hot big titty ladies that play Warframe that would be, you know, foolish enough to hand over some Warframes to me because I suck in that game. I only just became Mastery Rank 5 and I just want to be cool, you know, I want to be gangster. You know, I was doing a story mission today. I was doing a bunch of story quests today, and ask Hannah how furious I got because mission after mission after mission with some bitch named Maru saw me doing exclusively data retrieval missions, and those are my least favorite mission in that whole fucking game, where you're supposed to break into some stupid ass booby trapped area and then be like, oh, well, the bombs are going off, you better figure out the layout of this building with a time limit and then hack your way through all of these, you know what I mean? Like, you don't know. How am I supposed to know the first time I do it? Fuck that. You know what I'm talking about? Oh my god, with this game, it's free, so I love it. You know what I mean? But if it wasn't, I'd probably be mad as hell. You know what I'm talking about? All right, so there's that. Guys, I love you. You're amazing. What is this? Oh, that's a great picture. How do you get that? Because it's staged. That picture is probably staged as hell. But how'd they get that sign to bend? Unless the sign's supposed to be bent like that, and it just looks like it's like flopping backwards. What kind of man stages him? And here's the thing about staging it. If he staged it, you know what? They would only need to do it one time, because you can just hold the button down on a good camera until you get the right frame of the coffee all over him. Because what I was initially thinking is, wow, he has such a nice shirt on. If it's staged, then he would have to get it on the first take. But yeah, that's fine too. Thank you, Jinx. Thank you, Linda. You guys are wonderful. Oh man. Damn, Chuck, Linda, and Jinx just going crazy on the jar. What's going on that jar, guys? Let me end the YouTube one. So guys, if you're watching on YouTube, I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you for the likes. And you know, you'll see me back over there soon, but just not super soon. Oh, I promised that I would go do that. So let me quickly take a look. See when I won't be banned on YouTube anymore. Baby. Ooh, yeah. Let's see. September 17th. So that's about 1 month, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's the 13th of August right now, so just over a month. All for a fucking under 30-second video with potato chips. You know, I wish I was important enough to get somebody from YouTube to actually listen to me, because I'd love to go back to YouTube, but we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. For those of you who've been enjoying the Mafia streams, those are pretty amusing to me too. Bye.